Hello, my name is Swissbianco. In this video I will talk about the cima 1 knife. Cima is a Chinese brand that makes a lot of different knives, folding knives and fixed blades. This one here got a bit hype on YouTube because of the price and the quality, so I did wanna test that out. First we're gonna do the unboxing. The knife comes in a pretty big, nice looking box. There is no marking other than on the front. As we open it, we have bubble wrap, and then we see the knife. They even did wrap the handle. So the shipping is pretty good. They did protect the item relatively well. We have the usual silica gel, and then we have a product manual, unfortunately mainly in Chinese. So what we see is the overall length 215 millimeters, blade length is 85 millimeters. We see the steel is mentioned here, 7CR 17 MOV, and the QR code quite likely would go to their website, and we see here a bit how the screws are put on. That is basically all what they give you, unfortunately only in Chinese language. Maybe that shows that the knife was designed mainly for their market there, but it's of course available for export as well. So this one is this version here is a bit older one that I have for a while, that I did test out already and fixed up a bit. The regular version, brand new, as we did unpack it, it is like this looking. There is also a part serrated version of that knife. For me that is less interesting. I'm more for the plain edge version, and the blade is not too long anyhow, so we need it in plain edge. We have small thumb serrations, it's not too sharp. Full tang blade, it goes all the way behind here, nice lanyard hole. The micarta, there we have a bit, that goes away. The micarta scales are CNC millet, they are relatively smooth. The screws with the boosings do not have any Loctite on them, at least not on the other sample. On the back side we see cima knives, the steel is mentioned, and apparently each knife has its own serial number, so that's a bit unusual for China, but there you have your own serial number that you can see that this is yours. The knife is pretty well made, no problem there. The sheath is a bit less well made, that creates a bit a problem I'm gonna explain. So originally from the box, those screws that hold the sheet metal big beefy pocket clip belt loop attachment have no Loctite in them either. Those screws can be removed, that you have the sheet like this one. You can leash it with paracord to gear if you want, or make yourself a belt loop out of Kydex. That would be quite likely the best. Then we have some cord. They did not even cut it too well up at the end with a stopper here, but that is just for show mainly. You should use a piece of paracord anyhow for the lanyard. This is just a basic knife that has some flaws, but the substance, the knife itself, is pretty good for the price actually. So that's how that look. The fix up that I did first remove the scales and smooth them a bit out to make them a bit more coarse, if that makes sense. If you use sandpaper or if you have a blasting machine, bead blasting, that will help to remove a bit of the smoothness of it. It gets more gritty, like on this one here. That was needed because the original one is just too smooth. Quite likely the camera not gonna see it too well, but this one is way smoother than that one. And next time I go and bead blast, I'm gonna bead blast those scales for test, that we get a more grip to it. I also put Loctite on the screws, on the boosings, and since then it works pretty good. Lays good in the hand. It's a pretty nice knife. The problem, or the bigger problem, is the sheath. The sheath wiggles and has too much of a play. We also see the gaps in the sheath, that is not together. This is not a Kydex, it's just a injection molded version, and unfortunately not 100% too well as it comes from the factory. What I did is try a simple solution. I did heat up here and here. We see the finish is a little bit different, that is on the back side, and then I pressed in so that we actually have a better fit of the knife, that it won't rattle that much. It screams for a Kydex sheet. One day, as I work on Kydex again, I may make something for that knife, because it would be actually worth it. But like this, I did want to show a way how to fix up the sheet so that it won't rattle, at least not that much anymore. That way it does a bit, but the other way not, compared to the original one. That really has a lot of play. We see here by the handle, that is the main play, and that got eliminated pretty good here on that, so that you can actually use the sheet that comes with it. You simply need a heat gun and carefully heat it up and bend it, press it, bend it a bit inwards there. Be careful that you don't burn your fingers. And the other problem is basically that big sheet metal belt loop, that's quite heavy. So I would suggest make something different than this. Either you leash it with paracord to the gear, to the backpack, or whatever you have, or make a simple loop out of Kydex. That should be easy, or you look around with your friends that somebody work with Kydex, that they can make the loop. What also would be possible is the tech lock attachment. I did not yet try the tech lock out on this part. Quite likely the whole distance is not gonna work. So basically you need to it's not gonna work. That's would be on this one. Maybe it needs new holes drilled on the side for mounting the tech lock in a proper way, because it's plastic. That is relatively easy to drill, and then you can screw on simply a tech lock for belt attachment. That would be possible too, but I gonna quite likely stick with a Kydex belt loop, because that is really easy to do, and then the knife hangs a bit lower on the belt and is more secure. Maybe I even gonna add a Velcro strap on the handle to make it more secure. What I also gonna make as soon as I work again on the Kydex is a simple holder to screw on the side of the sheet for fire starter. That is what is missing on that one for sure. Simple fire starter. That fire starters you can get in a variety of models, relative cheap online as well. You just need to make sure it's a higher quality of the rod that they use, that it sparks quite well, and good sized sparks. Some of them don't do too well, unfortunately, some of the cheaper ones. So that I'm gonna attach on that as well, and then it's pretty much perfect for my own use. So that much about the Cima 1 knife.